And welcome back to Bishop O'Gorman Catholic School. We have the O'Gorman Knights boys versus the Harrisburg Tigers boys. This game will be tipping off shortly. The Tigers, the visitors, coming to the ball game at 11-3 on the season. They're 6-2 on the road. They are 3-3 in games decided by 10 points or less. 5-2 versus teams with winning records. They are 4-1 in their last 5 games, and they are second right now in AA boys basketball in power points. Well, the O'Gorman Knights, their opponent, are 10-7 on the season, 5-2 at home. They are 3-2 in their last 5 games. They are currently 10th in power points. So the win over Washington Friday night for the Knights boys, they stay in the same spot in power points. Knights are 4-6 this year against teams under 5 or above 500. O'Gorman averaging 57.5 points a game, allowing 52.6. While the Tigers averaging 61.6 points a game, allowing only 48 points. Tigers coming off a win on Saturday afternoon against Stevens boys, 59-52 at Harrisburg. Stevens boys are really good this year, only 11-6 on the season. Tigers' next game will be on Friday night versus Douglas at 7:30 p.m. Well, O'Gorman is coming off a win on Friday night against Washington, 70-43, a 27-point victory over the Warriors. The Knights play again next Tuesday night at Huron on February 20th at 7:30, and then they close the season next Friday night against Mitchell at home. So Knights boys coming out there, probably their best win of the season Friday night, while the Tigers coming off a win over a good Stevens boys team on Saturday as well. So we'll get to the starters now for the visitors, the Harrisburg Tigers, coached by Scott Langrock. They'll be starting number 1, Braden Feedy, a 5'11 junior guard. Number 11, Braden Van Bakkern, a 6'3 senior guard. Number 20, Maddox Plack, a 6'3 senior forward. Number 24, Jacoby Meerman, a 6'4 senior guard. And then number 33, Cam Phipps, a 6'6 senior forward. Meerman going to the University of Sioux Falls for basketball next year, while Plack is going to Northern State for baseball. The O'Gorman Knights tonight are going to be starting number 3, Ryland Satter, a 6'1 senior center. Ryland going to University of North Dakota State for football next year. Number 4, Hayden Gross, 6'2 senior guard. Number 5, Austin Tervine, a 6'2 junior guard. Number 23, Caleb Tervine, a 6'2 junior guard. And number 35, Noon Dute, a 6'3 junior forward. Knights are coached by Derek Roby. So both teams are in the court. I'll be joined by Isaac Struck shortly. Again, this is Brett Byler with the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you're an O'Gorman fan, if you're a Harrisburg fan, this should be a fun basketball matchup. Tigers and Knights. Tigers number 2 in power points. Knights number 10. The Knights girls, if you were just tuning in as well, won the doubleheader in the first game, 44-31, led by 16 points from Molly Abdouche. So Coach Colesrud's girls are now 18-0 on the season. The Tigers girls fall to 10-6. We'll take a quick little break. We'll be back for the opening tip between the Knights boys and the Tigers boys. Welcome back. The Tigers boys on the court in their maroon tops, maroon shorts, blue and black, or excuse me, yellow and black trim. Knights in their white tops, white shorts, blue and yellow trim. This should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to seeing this Harrisburg team. Have not seen much of them play this year. Again, we're only doing the Knights home games this year, so we don't get to travel like we previously did. But this Tigers team, a very good team, 11-3 on the season. Jacoby Meerman's been one of my favorite players to watch over his career. A senior this year, going to University of Sioux Falls next year. Has been starting, I believe, since his sophomore year. Played as a freshman. A fun player, an athletic Harrisburg team. So we're going to get close to being underway as Isaac Struck is making an appearance right when we get ready to tip off here tonight. So look at him getting to the stadium. Again, if you want to watch the game, just go to YouTube and go to the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to find the game with both teams now on the court. Turn Isaac's mic up and sure. So opening tip is handled by the Tigers. Welcome, Isaac.
Good to be here. A little bit late, but right on time for tip-off.
Exactly, and that's a turnover by the Tigers. I'll let you get situated and just let me know when you're ready to rock and roll here. Actually, Henry Theobald is in the starting lineup tonight for O'Gorman, so it's Gross, Theobald, Satter, and both Tervines, Caleb, and Austin. So no Noon Dudes for the Knights. So Meerman with the steal.
And I'm starting to wonder if I don't see Doot on the bench either. I wonder if maybe an illness or an absence today.
So that shot is made by Maddox Plack for the Tigers. They're up 2-0, and now here's Mr. Isaac Struck.
So Tervine tosses that one away and turns it over, and it will be Harrisburg basket.
So Feldy down low to Meerman.
As they swing it back up top. Meerman moving it around the perimeter. Will drive around, hand it back up top. Off the dribble drive now. Kick to the corner, down low. Drive inside. Lot of contact through the foul and one. That was Maddox Plack on the make there. So Plack at the line for the +1. Back of the iron, no good. Rebound goes to Satter, and he'll bring it up to Gross. Tigers lead 4-0 as that shot is blocked in transition. It was Tervine trying to get a quick fire three. Couldn't get it to go off in time. Now the Tigers will control it. Thought about a deep three there, and they'll swing it around the perimeter now. Phipps swings it over down low, dump off inside again. There's another foul inside. Some friendly banter back and forth between Tervine and Plack. Maddox Plack, the 6'3 senior, got his position established inside.
And without Noon Doot, you lose some size as well, so O'Gorman's going to be pretty undersized in this matchup.
Lob up top to Phipps, who controls it near the top of the key. Fresh 35 shot clock after that foul. Phipps drives baseline, guarded by Satter. Spin move. And dribbles it out of bounds. Nice defense by Ryland Satter.
That's the one player for O'Gorman you're not going to be able to back down if you're Harrisburg is Satter. He's so solid. Phipps was trying to do the old Charles Barkley move, and he did not end up going anywhere but out of bounds.
So now Gross will bring it up the front court. Knights will run a half-court set here. Tervine dump inside, kick back out to Caleb Tervine for three, no good. Rebound goes to Harrisburg. Now they'll push down the floor with Meerman. He'll drive inside, kick to the corner. Little slip over in the corner there on a wet spot, able to control the basketball and back up top to Phipps. Looking at a cutter inside with Meerman. He'll dump it down on the left wing. Meerman steps into a left-handed three-pointer, and it's good.
That's someone you got to get up on. He can really shoot it, and Gross kind of just backed off just enough where he just had the space and drilled a 3. 7-0 Isaac, Harrisburg.
I could see O'Gorman taking a timeout if they don't score here and give up another basket as that one airballs out of bounds. And the Tigers fans are lively here as Tayton Mooney and Jackson Bjorkman get ready to check in, as well as John Lent.
Tigers 11-3 coming into the ball game. Isaac, they're second right now in power points, only trailing the Mitchell boys right now. The Knights 10-7, 10th in power points. So that win over Washington didn't move us anywhere in power points.
Yeah, interesting how that doesn't work out. The Tigers with a 7-0 lead here in the opening minutes of the first quarter bring the ball across the half-court line. Fieldy with it, dump off inside this time to Plack. Maddox Plack drives baseline. His shot no good. Rebound goes to Bjorkman, who pushes down the right side of the floor with Terveen. Austin Terveen off the dribble, gets to the free throw line. Pull-up jumper is good, and one with the foul.
Good screen by John Lent that time and got him in just enough space, and Van Bokeren will get the foul called, and Terveen will get the Knights on the board at the 5:10 mark of the first quarter. It's Austin Terveen.
Terveen's free throw is good. So Knights on the board now, 3-7 here. They trail with 5:08 left in the first quarter. Fieldy guarded closely by Mooney. Now he'll back off a little bit and re-engage.
Football score, Isaac.
Yeah. Meerman deep triple. That one's going to be off the mark, no good. Rebound, however, corralled by Plack, and Plack will dribble over to the right wing. Swing to the corner, dump inside to Phipps. Almost got double teamed there. Now we'll back down Lent. Spin over the right shoulder. Shot no good. Rebound, however, again by Maddox Plack, and they're going to call a jump ball underneath the basket. It'll be possession to the Knights.
Harrisburg playing pretty physical here in the early going.
Absolutely.
Plack, he just flew right in there for that rebound, too.
So Mooney off the dribble now. Swings it into the hands of Lent. Tries the back door to Terveen, and he'll kick it up top to Terveen instead. Swings it to Gross. Elbow jumper. Back of the iron, no good. Rebound was then poked away and nearly stolen by Lent. And now Harrisburg will drive in transition. Had that one poked away. Dump off to Phipps. Up top to Plack. Back to the wing. That three-pointer is true by number 11, Braden Van Bokeren, the 6'3 senior on the board. And the Tigers once again lead by 7. Kick to the corner. Gross for 3. Around and out, no good. Rebound goes to the Tigers.
Harrisburg up 7, halfway point of the first quarter.
He'll go off the dribble now, drive into the paint. Tough hand scoop shot is good. Rolls around and in, and the Tigers lead 12-3 now. Mooney off the dribble over to the left wing. Up top to Bjorkman, swings it over to Gross. Into the hands of Terveen now. He'll use a screen this time from Bjorkman. They're going to call an illegal screen on the offensive end there. Bjorkman stuck the hip out and got hit with the first foul of the game for Bjorkman.
And I think this is one of the better defensive teams in State O'Gorman's play tonight. Harrisburg only allowing 48 points a game, so they do a really good job on that side of the ball. We've seen it already in the first 4.5 minutes of this ball game.
I saw the score of the girls' game. I was a little surprised how low scoring that one was through a majority.
Yeah, 44-31.
Van Bokeren knocks down another 3. I was doing an open house at Holy Spirit, so I wasn't able to make the girls' game today. Second time in a row I had a basketball game last weekend. I promise you I'm trying to get back for the girls' games as well. It's just easier to get to a 7:45 tip than a 6 o'clock tip when you're got other duties as that one's thrown away.
So Van Bokeren has the last 8 points for Harrisburg. O'Gorman back-to-back turnovers, and this game has been all Tigers. A little surprised Coach Roby hasn't called a timeout yet. Maybe the old Phil Jackson letting them play through it. People are old enough to remember that reference.
This is a good opportunity for the Knights, though, to have to kind of struggle through something on their own. As the drive inside by Merriman, he was a lot of contact, poked out of bounds, and will stay with the Tigers.
And again, he's a lefty, so obviously a scouting reporter, you're probably going to lean him, try to get him to go right, I'm guessing. As long as you say that to players and the game starts, you forget pretty quickly.
Kick to the corner, Van Bokeren, quick fire, triple is good again. That's 3 in a row from Braden Van Bokeren and 3 from basically the same spot. And the Tigers are absolutely running the Knights right off their home floor.
Yeah, 11 for him.
Terveen got plummeted to the floor there that time on the pump fake.
Yeah, a foul. Aiden Costine, a 6'7" junior forward. Big, strong kid, too. Not a fun guy if you're going to get fallen on by anyone. I would not choose him if I was the Knights.
Satter nearly threw that one away as they're going to get a foul on Fieldy that time, reaching through. He's trying to get it into the hands of Mooney.
I remember talking to the Pier boys basketball announcer before that O'Gorman Piers game. Because Pier played Harrisburg the night before, back at the end of January. He was telling me just how quick that Fieldy was for Harrisburg. Just disrupted everything Pier was trying to do that ball game.
It'll be interesting to see how Satter gets open on the backdoor cut, and it's good for two. Interesting to see how much pressure he continues to put up front on the guards of the Knights for the remainder of this one. Van Bacheren over on the left wing. He's hit 3 in a row from over there. Merriman lost that ball and then swings it back over to Van Bacheren. Deep triple from Van Bacheren is good. My goodness. Turn out the lights. Braden Van Bacheren, 4 straight triples from the wing. Terveen tries to answer. Air ball, rebounded by Satter inside, got fouled. That's one of the things that you don't want to do if you're the Knights is let a shooter start to see it like he's throwing a ball into the ocean. And that's what's happening for Van Bacheren right now, who's just getting basically anytime he touches the ball, he's looking at the basket to shoot, and he is not fazed by that late hand contest.
Well, and that was just kind of one of those heat check threes, and you kind of look at him, he reminds me a little bit of Klay Thompson, where he's not even dribbling. It's just you're catching, you're shooting. So as a defender, you want to get up in that space and make him put the ball on the ground. Even if he's out 35 feet, you still got to get out there.
and he's catching it, and he's every once in a while just throwing a jab step, no dribble, and still getting that separation.
Unfortunately, that time Satter got out on him. I don't think Satter's used to playing the perimeter that much, and saw what happened.
They try to get it back to Van Bacheren in the corner. That one poked out of bounds by Gross.
Talking to Coach Langrock, Van Bacheren has a couple offers to play basketball. Hasn't decided where he wants to go yet, so be interesting to see kind of where that young man decides to go next year.
Merriman drives inside, tough left-handed scoop around and in.
I don't think you could have scripted a better first quarter for the Tigers so far, up 23-7 right now.
Absolutely. Bjorkman pump fake, swings it over to Caleb Terveen, drives into the paint, uses some contact, gets to the right hand, up off the window, and good for 2.
Really nice job by Terveen. Attack the basket. That's where O'Gorman's success has been offensively in the first quarter.
Dump inside, back to Van Bacheren. Deep triple is good. He's cooking with grease tonight. My goodness.
17 in a quarter. Wow. You don't see that too often.
Swing over to Caleb Terveen. His triple is good.
And that's 5 3-pointers for him as well.
I have a feeling that this one might get back into his hands at some point on this possession. Merriman off the dribble. Swings it over, back to Van Bacheren. Now he got ticky-tack fouled by Theobald.
Knights do have 1 foul to give now. That'll be the 4th team foul. 26.9 seconds of your Harrisburg. You're probably going to hold for the final shot.
So into Van Bacheren, guarded closely by Theobald. Van Bacheren creates some separation. Quick fire triple is short. Rebound by Theobald. That was a heat check there, step back fadeaway, and it was just short right on line. Terveen to Theobald. Up top to Caleb Terveen. Swings it over to Gross. 9 on the game clock here. Gross, step back fade, no good. Rebound tip, caught by Theobald, puts it up. Another offensive board, and that time it goes as Caleb Terveen got that one at the whistle. And that'll do it for the first quarter. The O'Gorman Knights trail the Tigers and the Fighting Van Bacherens 14-26 here at O'Gorman High School. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School. Harrisburg up 26-14. It was, I believe, 17-3. So they had a biggest lead as, I think, 14 at one point. Braden Van Bacheren, 17 points for the Tigers in the first quarter on 5 3-pointers. Caleb Trevine had 7 for O'Gorman, including a putback to end the first quarter to get it within 12. Tigers ball starting the second quarter with Jacoby Meerman to Maddox Plack. Plack dribbling baseline cut off by Austin Trevine, and Austin steals it from him. Good job by Austin Trevine. He's going to go in, and that ball is knocked away by Jacoby Meerman. Here's Van Bacheren going to pull it back out. So starting 5 on the court for the Tigers. Spin move by Meerman, no good. Rebound by Gross. Oh, dangerous pass stolen away by Van Bacheren. Here comes Fieldy back to Van Bacheren. He'll go in, and he's fouled by Satter. So Braden Van Bacheren averaging about 14 points a game, has 17, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Definitely a capable scorer from all levels of the floor. That's one of those 3-level scorers, as he misses the free throw there, that you're looking at, especially when you're a college coach looking to recruit the next level. Can you shoot? Yes, but you can't just be a shooter. You have to provide something else. And he's shown that he can get inside and drive to the paint and get a shot off inside as well. So a 3-level scorer, and those are the tough ones to guard, especially when they can stretch the floor to what you were saying, NBA range. I mean, he was backed by that N in the logo for the Knights over in front of our bench.
And that puts so much stress on a defense, too, having to go that far out to get someone.
And it just opens up so many more driving lanes for the rest of the offense as well. Caleb Trevine dumps it off to Satter on the low block. Swings a pass up to Austin Trevine, nearly lost it. Now he's got it near the top of the key. Comes off of a dribble. Has to get rid of it to Caleb. Caleb drives inside, had it poked away into the hands of Phipps. And now Merriman, Ryland Satter probably could have poked that ball there in transition. Ends up getting a steal on the other end anyway. And now the Knights will push with some tempo here. Lob pass nearly thrown away. Gross somehow saves it right into the hands of Satter. Drives inside. Got it stuffed off the window, but a foul called underneath the basket.
Looked pretty clean from up here, but there's a couple of Tigers there might be calling a body foul. Okay, call it on Plack. I think Meerman actually had the block.
Yeah, so Meerman got all the ball. Plack got all the arm. And it results in 2 free throws for Ryland Satter, who misses the front end of the first. What do you think of the maroon pants out of the Harrisburg coaching staff over there, Brett?
I kind of like it with the black tops.
Yeah.
Kinda
Imagine if
well.
it was a full maroon look. That would have been a little interesting. And a foul called on Gross after Satter missed both free throws.
Not often do I get asked during a broadcast about the clothing of the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen color coordinated maroon pants from a staff ever in my 5 or so years of doing this.
So 13-point game, 27-14.
Drive inside by Fieldy. Couldn't finish it. Phipps tried to go right back up with it. Then got rim stuff from underneath. But Fieldy couldn't get the shot to fall either. Kick out. Now Van Bacheren pump fake. Thought about another triple. Swings it over. Plack. Triple from the wing is good.
So the Northern State baseball commit Plack drills a 3.
Kick to the corner. Theobald, wing 3-pointer. Front iron no good. Rebound by Satter.
Satter doing a good job tonight, kind of flying around for O'Gorman, providing that energy.
And a timeout here from Coach Roby. It'll be a full timeout.
So with 5:48 left in the second quarter, it's the O'Gorman Knights 14, the number 2 team in state, Harrisburg 30. We'll take a quick break. We come back for more Knights boys basketball on the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools YouTube channel. Welcome back. It's all Harrisburg still so far 30-14. 5:48 left here in the second quarter. This is Brett Byler along with Isaac Struck. You're listening to Knights Boys Basketball on the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're O'Gorman fans, if you're Harrisburg fans, if you're high school basketball fans, we're glad you're here. Knights ball.
Austin Tervine off the dribble now, hands it off to Caleb Tervine. He'll drive around and then have to get rid of it again. In a little bit of trouble, swings it over to Gross. Gross back to Caleb Tervine. Pump fake, tough two from Caleb. His back iron no good. Rebound goes to Fieldy, who swings it up the floor to Merriman. Dump off, Plack, kick to the corner. Triple from the corner is off the back of the iron, no good. That was Caden Anderson on the three from the corner. Tervine drives inside and had it stripped out of his hands and out of bounds. And now John Lent will check in, Jackson Bjorkman will check in, and Tayton Mooney will check in. There's your three guys right back into action like we saw early in that first quarter. Knights still trail here by half of what the Tigers have. It's 30-14, a little more than half, obviously, but 30-14, 16-point deficit right now for the Tigers, being outscored by Braden Van Bacheren of the Tigers, who's got 18 with those 5 triples. Merriman in transition didn't realize that Theobald was behind him. Looked like he was going to go up for a dunk and then had it poked away from behind, and now Theobald into the hands of Austin Tervine. Swings it over to Mooney. Pump fake, drive. Kick to the wing. Theobald sizing up his defender, dumps it off to John Lent. Turns and faces. Dump inside to Bjorkman. He missed the layup, got fouled, and we'll head to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
So Caden Anderson will get the foul for Harrisburg.
So Bjorkman will head to the line as Langrock that time just chose not to argue that call, and it looks like he's a little bit frustrated with that one specific ref who's now called both of those fouls on the drives, and that time he just kind of looked and shrugged his shoulders at the coaching staff and just waltzed his way out of the conversation.
Probably a little bit easier to do that when you're up by 15
exactly.
than if you're, say, down by 5 or 6.
So both good there by Bjorkman. Now Fieldy will get ready to bring it across the half-court line. Guarded by Mooney pretty closely, dumped to Phipps. He had it stripped from behind, and then it went wickets between a couple of the Knights defenders and out of bounds.
Feels like we've had a Phipps playing for Harrisburg about all these years that we've done. This is 10 years in Knights basketball. Abby Phipps, a great basketball player. She's on Augustana right now. Then there was Braden Phipps, and now there's Camden Phipps. Anyone from Harrisburg listening, if I'm missing a Phipps, let me know.
Bjorkman inside all the way off the window for 2. And then Mooney does a nice job of guarding Van Bacheren, stopping the momentum across the half-court line, then gets right up in the face of Fieldy, and he's in a little bit of trouble. Nice defense by Mooney. Then a backdoor cut beats everybody as Plack then misses the layup. Back out to the hands of Van Bacheren, who swings it over to Plack. Lent tried to get a poke on that one, then the layup was missed again by Phipps. And now the Knights have a chance to cut this into single digits with a 3 here, or cut it to 10 with a 2. Mooney had it stripped into the hands of Phipps. In transition to Van Bacheren, who jams it in for 2, and they're going to call a foul and 1.
Yeah, that was dangerous. I'm glad that Van Bacheren could have held onto the rim there, because that's one of those ones where you kind of get undercut as you're going up, and he was at least able to hang on to it and gets the and 1 opportunity. But too much dribbling by Mooney. Against this Harrisburg team, you're not going to be able to dribble that much and get into the basket.
Just a nice poised take, who then slammed it with the 2 hands. And yeah, like you said, that, you know, in the NBA they'd call a technical foul on Jason Tatum for doing that, but I'm glad that he was able to grab that rim and hang on to it, because that's a dangerous play if you don't do so.
You've seen Jalen Brown do that and get fall on his back.
Fall on the back of his head, essentially. That one tipped. So Knights will have it here.
32-18, Harrisburg leading. 3:39 left here in the second quarter. 6-4 Tigers in the so far in the first half of this quarter.
Bjorkman thought about a step-back 3, swings it over to Lent instead. Now into the hands of Mooney. He'll drive inside, swooping left-handed layup, rolls in for 2.
And this is kind of the group that really played well, I thought, against Washington. The Bjorkman, the Mooney, the Lentz coming in.
They just share the ball so well with this group. It's like, none of them are hunting a shot. They're just trying to get others open as Van Bakeren heat check. How about another one?
Great defense, too, by Theobald. I don't know what else he could have really have done that time.
Theobald then just steps into a triple of his own in front of the iron, no good. And now Merriman with it. He'll cross over, dribble into the paint, left-handed strong finish off the window, and that one's good. So
back-to-back points by the 2 leading scorers by the Tigers, get it to lead to 16 now.
Kicked out, Bjorkman triple, strong, no good, rebound to the Tigers. If I were the Knights, I'd get a hand up on Van Bakeren here. Merriman behind the back and just lost it. As Bjorkman runs the floor, I don't know if he realizes someone was behind him there, kicks it to Terveen. Caleb Terveen driving inside, no good. Rebound on his own, missed it again. How about a right-handed layup that time? That one's good.
The old Mike and drill by Caleb Terveen. He now has 9, Toledo Gorman, and Scott Langrock just wants to kind of stop play, let everyone catch their breaths a little bit. They have a 16-point lead, 36-22. We'll stay right here for a 30-second timeout with the Harrisburg boys leading the Knights boys by 14, and we'll kind of see if we can look at here the PowerPoints, how that's all. There we go, get the right sheet out here. So right now in boys, Mitchell, number 1, with 14-1 in PowerPoints. Harrisburg, number 2, 11-3. Roosevelt's boys, number 3. Brandon Valley, 4. Washington, 5. Huron, 6. Stevens, 7. Watertown, 8. Pier, 9. And O'Gorman, 10. So 36-22, Harrisburg leading. I finally got to see a dunk, Isaac.
I know, it's been a while since we've had one of those.
This is going to be the 8th O'Gorman boys home game this season. I haven't seen a dunk yet, so Mr. Van Bakeren, thank you. I didn't want to go a whole season without seeing one in person.
And we've been blessed with lots of dunks over the last 2 seasons especially, and now we're finally seeing one in action tonight. Swing pass, Van Bakeren, pump fake, got the shooter to just flame another one. It's pretty uncanny what's going on right now as Van Bakeren got Theobald to fly up. I mean, no offense to O'Gorman, but actually not a terrible defensive strategy. I mean, you got to fly at the shooter. I don't know if jumping was necessarily the best thing to do there because he got off of his feet. No one came to help, but maybe just throwing a hand up. But, when you've got a shooter that's so hot, I don't discredit the effort there from Theobald trying to make anything hard. They're going to call foul this time on, I believe, it's going to go to Gross.
Well, Gorman was trapping in the corner, which then kind of got him in a scramble drill, which is, if you're playing a team like Harrisburg, you get into Van Bakeren, that's not good when you're running at a shooter. So we'll see what they're going to do defensively this possession.
Up top to Fieldy, kick to the corner, Van Bakeren, wide open triple, and you can count that one too.
And he is wide open on that one.
It's like just throwing a baseball into the ocean for him right now. That one kicked out of bounds.
Has to be a fun feeling if you're that young man, when you're such into the zone like that. Nothing really affects you too much here in the first half, and now it's a 20-point game, 42-22 with Van Bakeren with 28, Isaac.
Yeah, that's an incredible number to have in a high school game at the end of the first half. Caleb Terveen, 3 from the corner, no good. Rebound to Merriman. Now they're going to fling it up the floor to Van Bakeren, who crosses over, had it poked away that time, and Mooney will have it now in transition. Behind the back dribble, steps into one, dump inside to Caleb Terveen, floating away from the basket, good for 2.
So Caleb Terveen, 11 points for the Knights.
Now Fieldy guarded by Mooney. Good defense, and that one's nearly thrown away. It does go over and back. So the Knights will have the final possession here as Terveen will check in for Theobald.
Give Mooney credit on that one. His defense really disrupted Fieldy and then forced the turnover.
Van Bakkeren's been knocking down everything. I mean, I might as well say that he might be able to hit a left-handed three at this point. Terveen swings to Gross. Knights need a basket here in the worst way, at least for momentum's sake, and then a travel there by Mooney. It's probably the last thing that you need there if you're the Knights is to come up empty-handed without a shot attempt. And now Theobald will come in for Austin. Little offense-defense sub there as Bjorkman will come in now for Gross, who had those 2 fouls. Merriman pull up 2, no good. Rebound tip by Van Bakeren. They're going to call a foul underneath the basket on John Lent.
So Gorman will be in the penalty here, Isaac. They already have 5 team fouls.
So Phipps will head to the free throw line. That 2-shot bonus, Brett.
Saw the JV boys game. O'Gorman trying to foul frantically in the last 10 seconds with only 2 fouls to get up to that 5 foul mark.
As that one rattles in.
That's one of the biggest disadvantages,
Yeah.
I think, of that. If, say, you have 1 foul and there's 30 seconds left, you need to foul 4 times and quickly to get the other team into the bonus.
Exactly. Say you had 6 fouls in the third quarter. It doesn't do you any good come late fourth quarter if you've only fouled once since. Free throw, no good. Rebound offensively by Merriman, who then hoists one at the buzzer, couldn't get it to go. And that'll do it for your first half at O'Gorman High School. The Tigers lead the Knights 43-24, thanks to 28 first half points from Braden Van Bakeren and the Tigers. We'll take a break. We'll be back to start the third quarter here on Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools YouTube channel.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School. Start of the third quarter, Knights trailing the Tigers 43-24. Big first half. You're just tuning in for Braden Van Bakker, and he had 28 points for the Tigers. Knights led by Caleb Trevine with 11.
And my overall first half assessment of this game was that the Knights could not get a hand up on a shooter consistently, and it just allowed the Tigers to get hot, get in a rhythm, and then once they saw a couple go down, they were all going to keep going down as Trevine's three is no good. The other thing that I will compliment the Tigers on is it looks like their five guys just know how to move the basketball on offense. They're swinging it around, they're cutting to the basket, they're getting open looks, they're consistently running sets. They're playing a completely planned out basketball game where they're getting the spots, they found the hot hand, they continue to get an open shooter, and here comes another dunk for Van Bakker. Two-hand stuff.
Man, he can get up a little bit too.
Make that 30 points on the evening. Caleb Tervine drives inside, he traveled with it.
He has that Isaac Struck vertical leap, or should I say Manny Struck?
Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, I mean, it's an impressive showing from the Tigers right now, and they're physical. I mean, if Harrisburg, they're not going to have a game where they shoot, probably over 75% from three in the first half very consistently, but this is going to be a tough team to beat come state tournament time if they can continuously get looks like they've been getting all night. Van Bakker drives inside, had it poked from behind, and now Gross tries to get it into the hands of Satter, just threw it right away.
Oh.
And then that one flipped away by Merriman, and the Tigers have a turnover of their own, and it's 45-24. Energy in the gymnasium right now is pretty dead, as that one is a jump ball and will go to the Tigers.
That's what a 28-point first half by a single player outscoring your team will do to you.
Oh, wait, no, they called a foul there. Yeah, I was going to say, tough for the fans to get into a game when they're down by 21 to open up the second half, but that's what happens when you got a guy scoring 30 of the 45 points.
Well, getting down 17-3 just so quickly like O'Gorman did, it just, like you said, it just kind of sucks the air out of the building.
Yeah. Austin Tervine, tough shot, no good. Rebound. And Tervine's going to step into a triple of his own, misses it. So two misses there on the possession for Tervine, and now the Tigers will have the ball again.
And the Mitchell boys will defeat Washington. They're up 60-55 with 5 seconds left. So holding on at Washington.
And a pretty surprising girls score, Brett. Why don't you handle that one?
Yeah, the Mitchell girls lose their first game of the season at the Corn Palace of the Washington girls, 50-34. And Isaac and I were saying during the O'Gorman 19-point win on Friday night over the Washington girls that Washington's girls is a team you might not want to play come postseason time, and they just defeated the number one team in power points, the previously undefeated Mitchell girls. By 16 at home is pretty impressive.
Satter, baseline jumper, strong, no good. Rebound goes to Plack, then hands it off to Fieldy up top to Merriman now. Now Merriman, the lefty, hesitation dribble inside to the paint, up off the window. Good and one. Ay.
And what did he get to? His left hand.
Yep. He's got such a quick crossover dribble.
He'll be a fun player to follow at the University of Sioux Falls, too. It's fun when these local kids stay local in college basketball, and he's a good one. Fun to watch as his Cougar career will start, but he has to finish his high school career first.
Sure, we can't have him go to USF to finish out the season here.
And that's the third foul on Gross. He'll take a seat.
And it will be Bjorkman in for him, as well as Mooney and Lent coming in.
And so 10 for Jacoby Meerman.
Bjorkman swings it over to Mooney. Mooney dump off to Austin Tervine on the low baseline. And it poked away out of bounds right into the hands of Drew Pochik in the student section.
And what I really like about this Harrisburg team, even more than their offense tonight, is they really play defense. You can tell a team that takes pride on that end of the court.
Austin Tervine, tough two, no good. Rebound goes to Van Bakker. Now Fieldy with some speed down the floor, gets it off to Merriman, who just walks into a triple. No good. Rebound to Mooney inside, then he's surrounded by a few Tigers, then gets it over to Bjorkman. Long crossover, had it poked and fouled by Plack.
That reminds me of the O'Gorman girls, so it's never safe. Even if you get a rebound against them, they're always pressuring the ball. And that time, Mooney got the rebound. There was 3 Tigers right there around him.
So Mooney will bring it across the half-court line. Tigers doubling up the Knights here, 48-24. Theobald, tough rising two-pointer is good. Fieldy gets by Mooney and then dump inside, and Phipps was fouled hard by John Lent.
The 2 big guys hitting each other that time, and Phipps seemed like he got the worst of it, but I think he's all right. That's a really nice left-handed pass, too, by Fieldy.
Yeah, he's a good point guard and, kind of a floor general for the Tigers, and he's got really good speed. Free throw by Phipps is good. Caleb Trevine will get ready to check in for Theobald. See, that sub kind of a little strange to me. Theobald just had a nice pull-up jumper. He's been flying around on the defensive end. I mean, in this kind of game, that's the kind of guy that you might say, hey, let's draw up something and see if we can get another look out of you.
Right, the effort would be there on the defensive end with
Absolutely.
Henry always as well.
Bjorkman drives into the paint, handoff to John Lent. John Lent, spin move, fadeaway shot blocked by Phipps. And now in transition, Fieldy to Meerman. Drive inside, fouled hard by Bjorkman.
You like the challenge by Bjorkman that time. I mean, it's nothing too dirty about that, just a hard foul and making Meerman earn his 2 points.
Second free throw on the way by Meerman. That one good. So Tervine with it.
They've done a good job, I see, for Austin Tervine. Only 3 points for him. Frustrating night for the Knights' leading scorer.
His shot no good. Rebound. Poked into the hands of Meerman and then throws it up court to Phipps, who tries to go with the right-hand reverse layup. Couldn't get it to fall. Now Mooney in transition. Drives into the paint. Dump-off pass was poked by Tervine into the hands of Bjorkman. Wraparound pass to Caleb. His three-pointer is good.
I feel like the one O'Gorman who's been consistently tonight the best player has been Caleb Tervine. 14 for him, not just the scoring, just kind of, doing it all for the O'Gorman.
Van Bacheren off the dribble now, gets into the paint. Left-handed scoop shot, fouled. He'll head to the free throw line for 2.
And you look at what I was talking about before the game, Isaac, the O'Gorman schedule. You got Harrisburg obviously tonight. This game, unless there's a miracle comeback, you're going to fall to 10-8. Then you're at Huron a week from tonight at the Huron Arena. Huron's 11-6 on the season.
Yep.
Then you close against Mitchell, the number 1 ranked team, who after a win tonight, the Mitchell boys are 15-1. So a rough, tough last 3 games for O'Gorman. We'll see where seeding is, but you think they almost have to win the next 2 games, assuming they lose this one, to have a chance for a top 8 seed. But
so now Mason Clark checks in for Mooney.
But a lot obviously can happen here in the last couple of weeks of the regular
Absolutely.
season.
Caleb Tervine, quick fire 3, no good. Rebound that time by Alex Smith, the senior.
And not the former quarterback of the 49ers and Redskins and Chiefs.
And the Washington football team for that year. Meerman gets to the left block. They're going to say he traveled on the spin move there.
Well, I'm not for sure if I saw it travel there, but I'll trust the ref's judgment. Sometimes I think you can make a move so quick like that, it almost sometimes might even fool a ref where you get that much space in such a short amount of time.
Kick to the corner. Bjorkman wide open triple. Strong, no good. Rebound to Merriman. Now they'll push up the floor to Van Bacheren. Van Bacheren on the catch. Drive inside. Right-handed scoop shot off the window. Good for 2. Tigers lead 55-29.
The Harrisburg fans listening right now and watching, if you know who's the most points in a single game for a Harrisburg Tiger ever, you can let us know, because Van Bacheren has 34 right now.
Clark turnaround shot rattles in and out. The unfortunate thing for Van Bacheren is, if the lead stays the way it is, they'll probably take him out in the fourth quarter. If it was a little bit closer game, you might see a 40, possible 50-point performance out of him. So that shot is no good.
Right. I mean, if it keeps like this, you might see all the starters in the fourth quarter for the Tigers not even play.
Caleb Terveen, quick fire triple. Strong, no good. Rebound tipped around, back into the hands of Theobald. Theobald step back over to Clark. Clark drives inside, dishes it to Bjorkman. Back to Clark. Clark tried to swing a pass, had it poked away by Merriman. Then a behind-the-back dribble. Merriman inside. A left-handed layup is good.
Oh, I thought he was going to try to dunk it.
I thought he was going to try to dunk that too. Clark hesitation dribble and was fouled by Merriman.
That was quite the behind-the-back move he had that time, too.
He's just so smooth with the basketball. The whole Tigers team is smooth with the basketball. Another sub into the game. Number 22, Isaiah Tapp, the 6'6 junior, in for, I believe, the first time this evening. Maybe the second. Terveen, step back triple, strong, no good again. That rebound batted away and then right in the hands of Fieldy. Tried to dump off a pass, not able to get the own rebound. Pass inside, and then Clark was out of bounds as he dove to the floor for that.
Man, Fieldy is quick. Holy moly, what a burst of speed that time. And one team I haven't seen this year, Isaac, which I think you've seen a little bit more than me, is Stevens boys. Harrisburg beat the Stevens boys Saturday at Harrisburg by 8. Stevens boys beat O'Gorman. So Stevens boys, I think they're 11-6 on the season, so they must be a pretty darn good team too, after we've seen Harrisburg kind of tonight.
Van Bacheren fadeaway triple. It's good.
37 for Braden Van Bacheren. It's 9 1/4 for him.
Right-handed layup, no good by Terveen. Tried to get a second chance at it, missed it. Thrown back in. I'll say that it's out of bounds off the Knights.
But we got that running clock I just noticed as well.
Yep.
Just never want to have it happen against you when you're the home team.
Gross pump fake over to Lent. Lent drives inside, uses the body. Up off the window, was fouled. Good take into the paint there by John Lent.
One thing for O'Gorman here in this third quarter, I think when you get down this much, you kind of get discombobulated a little bit. Not a lot of, from what I can tell, offense being run here in the third quarter. It's a lot of, one-on-one. First guy shoots the ball in each possession, which I'm sure Coach Roby's not enjoying too much either right now.
It's been a tough game for the Knights, offensively and defensively. And when you have both of those on the same night, that's why we've got a 29-point ball game.
Yeah, not a good combination.
Fieldy off the dribble now. Hands it off to Van Bacheren. Over to Fieldy again at the top of the key. They sprint Van Bacheren to the corner. Wide open triple. That one short. You look like you could kind of tell that it was short out of his hands. Dump baseline, poked out of bounds. It will stay with the Tigers. And that running clock will run out the quarter.
So after 3 quarters, it's the visitors, the Harrisburg Tigers 60, the home team O'Gorman Knights 31. We'll take a break. We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter from O'Gorman High School. This is Knights boys basketball on the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools YouTube channel. Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. It's 60-31. Harrisburg leading the O'Gorman Knights. Been all Tigers so far tonight.
Van Bakeren backdoor cut, got the ball and was fouled on the ground.
I bet they're trying to get him up to 40.
Yeah,
guessing.
See a 40-point game and probably take him out.
I would say they'll probably take him out.
Unless he hits a three, they get a steal while he's still in, and he hits another three. Then they might let him try to get one more shot and see if 50 is within reach. Oh, man. Oh, and then he nearly slipped. Now he'll come off the screen, step back, deep triple. Oh, my.
That would look like the Matt Cartwright three against Lincoln when he got up to 40 that one game.
Holy cow. Terveen tries to answer with one of his own and does.
So that's 6 points for Austin Terveen.
Van Bakeren from the logo. Oh, in and out, no good. Man, it got the whole crowd involved there. That one poked away into the hands of Phipps. Back over to Fieldy.
63-34 Tigers.
Swing to Plack. Now back to Phipps. Phipps dumps off to Fieldy. Up top to Van Bakeren. Van Bakeren looking to use a screen and gets rid of it. Drive, kick to Fieldy. Up top to Phipps. He'll step into a three, and that one was...
I think Phipps thought he was hit on the elbow. Which I'm guessing he probably did because that shot kind of was like a dying duck going to the basket. So Coach Roby does a line change now.
Step back triple is no good. Kick down in the corner, and Van Bakeren got fouled by Terveen.
Harrisburg has their 5 starters still in at this point. Someone needs to take the ball out of bounds.
A little strange that they've still got their 5 in. It looks like they're literally just trying to get the ball to Van Bakeren. This is where you want to get the starters out and avoid an injury here in a 30-point ball game. Connor Holt getting ready to check in for the Knights. He'll check in for Austin Terveen.
Again, if you're just tuning in right now, no noon due today for O'Gorman. Not for sure if he's sick or what his situation is, but obviously really good player that wasn't available tonight.
Now they double Van Bakeren and create a turnover.
That'd be a way if I was defending right now, I just send 2 guys at him every time.
Oh, right-handed scoop shot over the backboard. No good from Clark.
Now you see Coach Langerock going to bring in some new players.
And that'll do it for the Tigers starters tonight, as Van Bakeren will get a standing ovation with 40.
You don't see that too often in high school basketball, just in basketball in general, when one player leaves the game in the fourth quarter outscoring their opponent.
Yeah. So a lot of new names in here for both teams, as this is Kroll bringing it across the half-court line, swings it over to Smith. Up top to Anderson, back to Anderson from the wing. That three-pointer, back of the iron, no good. Rebound, battled for down low, and going to be corralled. And a jump ball will go to the Knights, as now Million Amari will check in for the Knights. He'll come in for John Lent. So Million Amari going to get some action here for the Knights. The 6'8 senior.
Sure what the delay is. But
tucking in a jersey, I believe. Stewart drives baseline. Dump off to Million, who swings it over to Holt. Holt with it now. Up top to Bjorkman. Bjorkman drives into the paint, a lot of contact, and they're going to call a foul on the drive. Clark with it, drives, kicks it to Holt. Holt three-pointer from the wing is good. So Connor Holt walks in and knocks down one from the wing. Fadeaway, two-point shot, no good. Rebound nearly got batted in. Then a crotch shot off the rim, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds, and it'll go to the Knights.
(63-37), a minute 54 left here in the fourth quarter. Knights trailing the Tigers.
Bjorkman wide open triple is good.
That's a good looking play right there.
So Knights making it a little more respectable now. 23-point game. Then Bjorkman gets a steal. Bjorkman going to drive. He'll lay it in and one off the window. As the clock will stop for the free throws here from Bjorkman.
So 9 points for Bjorkman. Little 5-0 run for himself right now.
His free throw is long, no good. Drive is partially tipped by Amari and out of bounds.
Does the clock still run, even though it's 21?
Yeah, it has to be down to 19.
Okay.
Three-pointer, top of the key, no good. Rebound, Holt. Gets it to Clark. Clark dribbles around now, gets into the paint, whips it out to Holt. Holt to Bjorkman. Bjorkman looking inside at Amari. Couldn't get it to him. Drives. Spin back to Clark. Clark drives inside. Floater, no good. Rebound for Million. He's going to be fouled going up for two. So he'll actually head to the free throw line here for two free throws. Too strong, no good on the first attempt. Second one in and out, no good. Rebound to Tap. Looks like Harrisburg's just going to dribble this one out here and walk out of the O'Gorman gym with a 63-42 win over the Knights here tonight at O'Gorman High School, thanks to 40 points from Braden Van Bacheren. As the Tigers came in and led 17-3 in the first quarter, and it was all Harrisburg from that moment forward as they just continuously knocked down big shots and got stops on the defensive end.
So behind 40 points from Braden Van Bacheren, the Harrisburg Tigers defeat O'Gorman 63-42 tonight. A game that, like Isaac mentioned, Harrisburg got off to that 17-3 lead in the first quarter, and Van Bacheren had 5 threes, 17 in a quarter, and this Knights never could get back into the ball game. It was kind of a really good defensive effort and offense for Harrisburg. It just kind of not. It's one of those ones, Isaac, where you just kind of say it's just not your night, and it starts off bad and it just keeps snowballing after that. It's almost kind of like you're pumped up for a game like this at home, and all of a sudden you're down by 15 and you just can't recover.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was too much early And it looked like the Knights were a little bit shell-shocked right out of the gates there. It was, it's tough to play in a game when you're down by so much. I know that, the Knights were trying to move some rotations around and figure some things out, but quite frankly, no matter what the Knights were doing, offensively or defensively, it just wasn't enough to overcome such an early deficit and such a large deficit for that matter.
Absolutely. So the Knights boys fall tonight by 21. The Knights girls were able to beat Harrisburg. That was kind of a fun game, a low-scoring game, 44-31. Molly Abduch had 16 points in that ball game, and Harrisburg hung tough. They're an athletic team. They're a kind of a feisty team. Another team that I think could potentially make a pretty long run into the state tournament. So I'll be interested to follow Coach Nick Meyer, who always does a good job with those girls. But the Knights girls are 18-0. And Isaac, if you want to maybe get the app open and get a few scores tonight as well, because
Absolutely.
One of the scores we do know, which is a big upset, which actually will propel O'Gorman to number 1 in power points, the Mitchell girls lost at home for their first loss of the season to Washington, 50-34.
So other finals tonight in girls AA basketball. Oh, my goodness. We've got ourselves an upset. Lincoln's girls defeat Roosevelt's girls 39-33 for the first win of the season for the Lincoln Patriots over the 3-12, now 3-13 Roosevelt Rough Riders. That game went to overtime, 39-33. Harrisburg and O'Gorman, obviously O'Gorman won that one, 44-31. Sioux Falls Christian defeated Yankton, 53-31. Sturgis Brown lost to Belle Fourche, 48-43. Spearfish all over Rapid City Christian. Pierre over Brookings. And then, like you had mentioned, Washington over Mitchell. And then we've got a Rapid City Central Douglas score update late in the third quarter, 55-23. Then over in boys action,
lots of games tonight.
Yeah.
This Tuesday night.
Watertown defeats, narrowly edges, I'll say, Aberdeen Central 74-71 in Watertown. Pierre with a win over Brookings 54-50. Brandon Valley over T 50-42. So Brandon Valley is starting to catch fire late in the season. They're 11-3 now. That's a team that O'Gorman beat right away to start the season.
I think now they're 12-3.
Oh, 12-3. That's right. Yep. Mitchell defeats Washington 60-55. Roosevelt and Lincoln in a 1-point ball game at the start of the fourth quarter over at Lincoln 50-49. And then Sioux Falls Christian on top of Yankton 41-34. That's actually a close game between the number 1 team in in single A and the 3-12 Yankton Bucks in double A. Sioux Falls Christian, they beat Sioux Falls Jefferson by 40 over at Jefferson, and they only lead Yankton by 7 at home in that one. And then Belle Fourche and Sturgis just tipping off. Spearfish and Rapid City Christian just tipping off. And Rapid City Central and Douglas just tipping off. So those are your score recaps from the evening.
All right, so we'll be off until a week from this coming Friday. O'Gorman boys and girls, they only have 2 more regular season games left. The Knights boys and girls next will be in action next Tuesday, a week from tonight, the 20th of February at the Huron Arena. That's will be a 6 and a 7:30 start. And then next Friday will be a fun one as the Knights girls and Mitchell will start the night off. Right now, the Knights girls undefeated 18-0. Mitchell's girls now 15-1. And then the Mitchell boys, who right now are 15-1, will take on O'Gorman. Coach Roby's old stomping grounds. The Mitchell Colonels come to town a week from this Friday. The 23rd will be our last regular season game, and then we'll have kind of an idea of maybe who's going to be playing who in the Sodak 16. So for Isaac Struck, I'm Brett Byler. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I want to thank all our Harrisburg viewers and listeners out there. Knights girls get a win. Knights boys fall to the Tigers. Hope you have a good night, everyone, and go Knights.